Transformers96 here with another update from San Diego Comic-Con 2018 on Dropkick. So I did make a video when the official image of Dropkick was shown. Now we do have an in-person, on display, photos of Dropkick, so I definitely want to make another video, just because it really takes on a different look when it's on display. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but with Dropkick here, I think it really does. So definitely want to talk about it and compare it a little bit more. I will also be comparing it with the official image and the image that we have of him in the movie itself. So let's get started. In person, I think this looks worse, which is definitely disappointing. Now, I will say that this figure isn't really well transformed. Whoever set this up didn't quite know what they were doing. First of all, the legs are not clicked in together. As you can see, there's a big old gap in there. These should be clicked in and sealed together, as well as these little blue panels should be folded back, and they're not folded back. So those are the things that I notice off the bat that are not transformed properly. However, the rest of it does look like it's transformed to the fullest. Take that for what it is. As far as the paint, I think the paint looks really bad. He's got this really dull, creamy blue, almost like a whitish blue, and then it has a really bright royal blue, and then it has black, which is just an odd color combination, especially since it really doesn't match what we've seen from him in the movie. The chopper itself, I think the chopper just looks better because, I don't know what the chopper should look like in the movie anyway, and the colors I think meld a little bit better. There's more of a mix of the colors, because you have blue, you have the dark blue in more places, as you can see. But with the robot mode, you have dark blue in very chunky spots, especially all over the feet, and then just a little bit at the chest, the head, and then the top. None on the arms, so it's spread out better on the helicopter than it is on the robot. Yeah, and the head sculpt looks cheesy as well. I'm a little disappointed with this, I must say. Now, I will, go into more detail once I bring up the other pictures. But just showing it, in person on there. He obviously comes with weapons that he can hold as kind of like guns, which I've never been a big fan of, because, usually in the movies, they're not specifically holding guns, and the Decepticons, at least, aren't specifically holding guns. That usually forms out of their arms and things like that. But here, that's kind of all there is. There is, just so you know, a shatter on display, but it's one of those kind of cheesy one-step type of Transformer things. But you can see that they are working on a figure of her, at least, which is nice. So I definitely want her in the Studio Series as well. But now, just going into more of a comparison between the three images that we have. Essentially, we have an official image of the figure, we have an in-person image of the figure, and then we have the image of him in the movie. Now, of course, when I did my first video about this, I talked a lot about how the differences between the picture in the movie and the actual toy, considering one transforms into a helicopter and one most likely is a triple changer. He definitely is going to be a triple changer in the movie, or at least he's going to have a car form and a helicopter form. The only question is whether he's going to have that at the same time, and I think the answer is yes, because although the car parts are mostly prevalent here in the toy, in the official image of him in the movie, there are some spots of him that do scream jet, like the cockpit does seem to be his chest, and then this section in the back is obviously not necessary for a car, but the majority of the parts on him are very much car-like, with the tires and then the car doors and things like that, and you have the front of the car right here. So there's a lot more of the car mode that's shown on the robot than there is the helicopter, and considering that the toy is just representing the helicopter, I feel like you lose a lot. Also, there's no I guess right here would be the what is it? The helicopter blades. So I think that they're right here. So they're more tucked in the robot mode. They don't lay this far down. And as you can see, they severely altered the photo here, because the helicopter blades go up to about here, like a waist high, and they go down to the ankles. So obviously, either they have this just pointed way back, or they just physically went in there and shortened those up to make them look better. But that just looks a little ridiculous. Also, the Decepticon symbol on the crotch here is not shown on the official image, or on the in-person image, so I don't know about that. Also, the coloring just looks so much worse in person. This really bright royal blue, as you can see, this looks a lot better. This is a darker kind of glossy blue, which more matches the blue of the movie, and that's something that's completely missed here. Also, it looks like the silver isn't really melded very well with the blue on the in-person when it is on the official image. So there's just a lot of things that are a lot worse with the in-person image than the official image. And the thing is, the official image wasn't great to begin with, because it very much doesn't represent at least the look of Dropkick in the movie. They definitely look like two different characters. Even the head sculpts don't match that much. So I'm quite disappointed by this, to be quite honest. If you want more of my like really in-depth thoughts on just how these two compare, check out that video. But right here, I find it very disappointing. I'm almost tempted just to do like a custom myself. You know, I think that, to be honest, Q would be a great figure to do a custom on with him, because I think that their legs are very similar, and the torsos are actually quite similar as well. So Q is a good one to do a custom on if you wanted to. The only issue is Q is actually a very rare and expensive figure, so I don't plan on using him as a custom, but he is a good one to do it for. But I think that I might just kind of look around and see if I can do a custom myself, or at least customize the figure that we're getting. But it severely needs alterations. It's really not even similar, to be quite honest, which is very disappointing, because I was very excited for these two Decepticons in the film, and getting our first image of getting the toy of the first one, Dropkick. I find myself incredibly disappointed. Again, like I mentioned before, though, the only other way that this becomes good and like it could be a decent figure is if they do another version of Dropkick that transforms into the muscle car. So if they did like one that transforms into the helicopter and features more of the helicopter parts in robot mode, and then one that transforms into the car and features more of the car parts in robot mode, then I think you get a better version of Dropkick. But if we don't get another Dropkick figure, and this is like our only one, this is incredibly disappointing. Unless at some point in the movie he does not transform into the muscle car and he only transforms into the jet, and he looks a lot more like this. But with him being able to transform into a muscle car, he does not look like this at all. So it's very disappointing, but hopefully either another figure will be shown or another image of him in the movie will be shown, which makes this a little bit better. But there you go, that's my thoughts on the in-person image of Dropkick and how that affects my thoughts on the previously shown official image of the figure, as well as the image of the character in the movie. So let me know what you guys think of the new photo that we have here, and what you think about how they compare to what we actually see in the movie. And thanks so much for watching.